So I had a good laugh this morning. Somebody posted on Facebook on one of my videos where I'm trying to educate some people on vaccinations and digital certification, and the effects that that could have on their life down the road and the mark of the beast. And so I was called a conspiracy theorist. Me. So anyways, I thought I'm going to look that up. What does that actually mean? So, definition of conspiracy theory. So, a belief that some covert but influential organization is responsible for circumstances or events. Let me think about that one. Sorry. I just think this is hilarious. Because when does conspiracy theory get changed to the word the truth? Okay, so let me read it again. Conspiracy theory means a belief that some covert but influential organization is responsible for circumstances or an event. Okay, so I call that the truth. I don't call that a conspiracy theory. So let me tell you something that happened in my life 15 years ago. 15 years ago. My husband and I were away on a vacation. First time I'd ever gone to an all-inclusive resort. And so we were in Cuba, and honestly, it was like one of those last-minute deals, and we decided to go away. So we're sitting by the pool in the afternoon on a lounge chair, and this lady comes up to me. I don't know her, never seen her before, nothing. And she says to me, before I left to come on my vacation, I knew I was to bring this book with me and that I would know and I'd be directed to who I had to give this book to. Okay, so I'm thinking, okay. So my husband and I was just looking at one another because let me tell you, things like that happen to me all the time. So anyway, so she hands me this book, and this is the way she handed me this book. I now keep it in a plastic bag to keep it, because this is the condition she handed me this book. And actually the first page is already ripped off. I keep it in a bag. So the book is actually called Confessions of a Medical Heretic by Robert S. Mendelsohn, MD. So he's an MD in the US. And let me just flip the page. When was this? Copyright was 1979. So 1979. So apparently since 1979, doctors and people like Robert Mendelsohn have been conspiracy theorists. And actually, he gave up his practice because he realized what was going on. Okay? So he was the chairman of the Medical Licensing Committee of the state of Illinois, associate professor of prevention medicine and community health in the School of Medicine in the University of Illinois. He was the recipient of many numerous awards for excellence in medicine and medical instruction. So, yep, this is the guy that calls himself a medical heretic. Okay, so I read the book because you know what? I don't believe in coincidences. I believe that, when things like that happen, that it's for a reason. So 15 years ago, I was handed a book that educated me on the challenges that go on in healthcare systems. So I live in Ontario, Canada. This is in the US. Yes, we have two different healthcare systems, but the concept was the same, okay? So then as years went by, I went to school and became a homeopath, a regulated healthcare practitioner. And during my process of becoming a homeopath, I learned how to read research, and I read many research studies that were done on homeopathic medicine that, scientists said weren't true because people got healed, but there was no scientific proof. And how could that happen? It was just a placebo. So then as I became more educated and was learning more things, I had a patient actually give me or tell me about a book and a person. So the book is called The Persecution and Trial of Gaston Naessens. So this is from Quebec, Ontario. And in it, it actually has court reports and people that have went on the stand and said that they were cured of cancer. They went to court because this guy was taken to court and sued. And this is in this Times. And it shows documentation. And it shows people going on the stand and saying, I was cured because of 714X. This liquid immunology that this biochemist developed in Quebec. And you know what? Don't take my word for it. Look it up, 714X. And he's a graduate of Harvard University. He has a BA in biology and the American University of Washington, D.C. So I've actually had conversations with him and his wife. And if you look up under the compassion list in Canada, Prime Minister Mulroney at the time actually put this 714X on the compassion list so that if you did all other procedures, you could, and nothing worked, you could actually get 714X. And it is about injecting it in your lymphatic system, and it's about immunology. So yeah, it's been around for a long time, immunology. But the problem is a doctor can't get it unless you've done chemotherapy and radiation. So doesn't that go against the Charter of Rights about doing what you want to do with your own health? And even in Ontario, the College of Physicians and Surgeons stating that more and more people are turning to complementary health. So and then look up Renee Casey and SEACT. And same thing. She had doctors saying that this herbal medicine that she came up with was curing cancer, but then she was shut down. So you know what? When I read things nowadays that's going on, okay? And so it's May the 7th, 2020. I don't need to tell you what's going on right now, but when more and more information is coming out and then somebody calls me a conspiracy theorist, I'm just laughing because the truth is the truth. So then I guess I'm a conspiracy theorist because I read the Bible. And you know what? Read the Bible. It's telling you everything that's going on right now. And it says the love of money is the root of all evil. And that the God of this earth is blinding the people. And that we need to be awakened. You need to see what's going on. So I guess, if telling the truth is really called a conspiracy theorist, we're in big trouble. Seriously, I can't stop laughing. This is just hilarious because I can't understand, like, it's been proven over and over again that, you know, even my MP said for every member of parliament, there's 4 lobbyists from pharmaceutical companies. And how much money goes into research? Read the Cancer Act of Ontario. It actually tells you where the money can go towards a cancer treatment or to go towards anything for cancer. It's been in place since 1942. It actually tells you where the money can go. And the only time the words cure, prevention are in there is later on when it says if someone comes up with a remedy, the government, the foundation that is controlled by the Cancer Act. So you have to know the whole history, okay? So we have all these things that are in place. And if you don't know the whole truth, yeah, maybe you could be taken advantage of. But you know what? Some people are actually trying to educate people nowadays on the whole truth. But I guess we're all just conspiracy theorists because you know what? I don't know. The Bible says truth will set you free. But then I guess that's just a conspiracy theorist too. Read the Cancer Act of Ontario. It's in place right now. It states where the money can actually go towards, and it goes towards